Welcome to the 2026 edition of NACFI's Fleet Efficiency Study, or what we call FES. This study is our most followed report and has been conducted since 2012. It creates adoption curves for over 80 freight efficiency technologies from more than 25 North American participating fleets. It provides insights into what solutions are scaling quickly, which ones are being adopted more slowly, and quite frankly, those that are not broadly used by fleets, but in the discussions. The good news is that efficiency is steadily improving with benchmark fleets exceeding 8 and sometimes up to 9 and 10 mile per gallon, while the national average is now around 7.1 mile per gallon, from a decades-long average of around 6. Finally, NACFI provides a tool where fleets can use this data to benchmark your own performance to search for areas to take actions to make your fleet more efficient and save money and emissions. Really important in these days of high fuel prices. Here, Yunsu Park will walk you through a new portal where you can join the study with only a minimum amount of effort to input your data to help us create a great report that allows for this benchmarking activities. Have a look and join NACFI in this effort of creating this efficiency study that will help the whole industry improve.
Once you've been set up in your Fleet Efficiency Study data portal and given a link, you'll come here, which is the login page. If you don't have a password or forgotten it, use the reset password link with your email. Assuming you're all set with your password, when you log in as a new fleet, you'll be brought to this page. This is where all the data for your fleet will be entered. As you can see, there are 4 sections: equipment utilization, fleet equipment, MPG, and technology adoption. Those last 2 sections are the core of our study, while the first 2 are highly desirable but optional. As it says here, we're not looking for perfection, but directionally accurate data, and go back as far as is reasonable. When we first started this study in 2011, fleets were giving us data going back to 2003, but we know that's not realistic for most fleets. There is an interview mode, which we highly recommend for new fleets. Click on this button to enter the interview, which will walk you through the data entry section by section. Keep in mind how we're defining adoption percent. Percent is on the trucks and trailers purchased in the year. So if your fleet bought 100 tractors in 2025 and 50 were equipped with full side skirts, the adoption percentage for side skirts in 2025 is 50%. Here you'll be asked for what cab type you'll be entering data. If you have both, we recommend you start with a cab type that represents the largest portion of your fleet. You'll then be walked through the technologies section by section. We ask you about purchases in the most recent year. For any of the trucks you purchased in that year, you enter the percent of trucks that were equipped with that technology. It then asks you when you first started equipping your trucks with that technology and roughly how quickly you ramped up your adoption. Keep entering the percentages for all other technologies that apply in this section. When you are finished with this section, you'll have a chance to review everything and make any adjustments to the numbers. Once you decide that it all looks good, click Save to continue to the next section. Keep working through the rest of the technology sections until you're finished. Keep in mind that for practices, the percentage applies to all trucks of the same cab type, not just the ones purchased in that year. That finishes the technology adoption section. If your fleet purchases a significant number of the other cab type, you will have the option here to enter that data as well. For technologies that apply to both, your previous responses will be pre-filled, which should save you some time. When the technology section is finished, you'll be asked about fuel. We ask that you give us a minimum of 2 years of data, but ideally, we'd like fuel for the years that match the technology adoption data. You can see that we ask for fleet-wide IFTA miles and gallons by fuel type. There's no split between cab types. Following the fuel data come the 2 optional sections. If you can provide data on the number of tractors and trailers in your fleet and the rest of the utilization information, it really helps NACFI put your data into context. We only ask you to go back a maximum of 2 years for this. Finally, the last section is for entering the make and model of trucks you purchased most recently. Again, this is optional and at most goes back 2 years. Once you've come this far, you're in a home stretch. There is one more chance to review everything and you are finished. Submit your data if you're happy with it and you're finished, or you can save it and view it in the forms view and submit when you're ready. Once you've submitted your data, you'll see green check marks next to all the sections that you've completed and it should say submitted at the bottom. You also notice that your data is now populated in the chart to the left here, which compares your fleet's adoption MPG against that of the other study participants. If you want to get into more details on your benchmarking, there's now also a benchmarking option available to you here on the left. In the benchmarking section, you'll have a choice of choosing between comparing yourself against all fleets in a duty cycle or choosing specific fleets. If you choose specific fleets, you'll have to select at least 3 of them so that their numbers can be averaged and no single fleet's data is revealed. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and run all fleets in the comparison. Give it a little bit of time, it is collecting a lot of data. Once it loads, you can see the MPG against all the fleets in our study in the same duty cycle, as well as their adoption percentages. When you scroll down, you can get into the details of exactly which technologies were adopted by the different fleets. Thank you for watching, and please join us by participating with your data.